Hello everyone, I am Priyanka Bish from DPS Lamachor. Today in this session, we will be continuing with the topic trading account. In the previous lecture, we have solved one practical question based on trading account. So here we will be solving some more questions. The question here is, prepare trading account for the year ended 31st March 2017 from the following information. So as the information is given, adjusted purchases is rupees 24 lakh. Freight and carriage inwards is rupees 20,000. Freight and carriage outwards rupees 15,000. Wages amounting to rupees 1,70,000. Fuel and power rupees 30,000. Office rent rupees 18,000. Trade expenses amounting to rupees 10,000. Sales rupees 30 lakhs. And closing stocks amounting to rupees 1,50,000. So here we have to write all these expenses and income in trading account. We know trading account is prepared where all the expenses and incomes relating to the purchases of goods and manufacturing of goods are recorded. As it is a nominal account, so all the expenses will be recorded on debit side and all the incomes and gains will be recorded on credit side. So here there is a term adjusted purchases. In the previous lecture we have learnt about some formulas. Based on that formula we'll solve this question. So first expenses will be adjusted purchases. The formula for adjusted purchases is opening stock plus net purchases minus closing stock. So here in the question, it is already given the amount of adjusted purchases, which means the calculation for opening stock, closing stock and direct expenses has already been done. So here, instead of recording closing stock and purchases, we will record the amount of adjusted purchase. So first expense will be 2 adjusted purchases. Amount is rupees 24 lakhs. Next is freight and carriage inwards. Freight and carriage inwards are considered as direct expenses and we know direct expenses are recorded in trading account. So we'll record to freight and carriage inwards amounting to rupees 20,000. Next is freight and carriage outwards. As in the format, freight and carriage inwards are not recorded in trading account. These are considered as indirect expenses. That means freight and carriage inwards will be recorded in profit and loss account. Next is wages. Wages is also considered as direct expense, so it will be recorded on debit side with the amount 1,70,000. Next is fuel and power. Fuel and power will be recorded on debit side with the amount 30,000. Next expenses, office rent. In trading account, we record all the expenses related to factory. So here office rent is an indirect expenses. It will be recorded in profit and loss account. So we will not record office rent in trading account. Next expenses, trade expenses amounting to rupees 10,000. Trade expenses is also considered as an indirect expense. So we will not record it on trading account. After that, sales has been given of rupees 30 lakhs. So sales is recorded on credit side because it is an income for the company. By sale amount rupees 30 lakhs. Closing stock is given for rupees 1,50,000. Closing stock has already been calculated in adjusted purchases, so we will not record the amount of closing stock. So this is all the expenses and income which will be recorded on trading account. Now we will see which side is having a greater value. So as we can see here, credit side is having a greater value with the amount rupees 30 lakhs. We'll record the same amount on debit side also, rupees 30 lakhs. So as credit side amount exceeds the debit side, this means the company has gained profit. So this will be the balancing figure here. Balancing figure on debit side is considered as gross profit. So we'll write here to gross profit transferred to P&L account, and it is a balancing figure. So the amount of balancing figure will be 3,80,000. The gross profit earned by the company is rupees 3,80,000. This is how we solve the question based on trading account. As we have learned how to prepare trading account, now we will solve the questions based on calculations of the formula discussed in the previous video. So we have done with preparing the trading account. Here we will solve the question without preparing trading account. Question is, calculate gross profit when total purchases are rupees 8 lakh, return outward rupees 20,000. Return outward is considered as purchases return. Direct expenses amounting to rupees 60,000. 2/3 of the goods are sold for rupees 6,10,000. So here we have to calculate the amount of gross profit. As we know, formula of gross profit is sales minus cost of goods sold. So the amount of sale is given in the question, rupees 6,10,000. First we will calculate cost of goods sold. Formula for cost of goods sold is opening stock plus purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock. So here amount of purchase is given in the question. Total purchases is rupees 8 lakh, out of which purchases return is amounting to rupees 20,000. So we will deduct 20,000 from 8 lakh to calculate the net purchases. So here amount of net purchases will be 8 lakh minus 20,000, which is 7,80,000. Plus direct expenses, amount of direct expenses is given in the question, which is rupees 60,000. So we will add 60,000. There is no amount of closing stock, so we will not consider any closing stock here. The amount of cost of goods sold will be 8,40,000. So cost of goods sold has been calculated of rupees 8,40,000. Now in the question it is given that 2/3 of the goods are sold for rupees 6,10,000. So here 2/3 of good means 2/3 of cost of goods. The total cost of good is 8,40,000, out of which 2/3 of this amount has been sold for rupees 6,10,000. So first we will calculate 2/3 of this amount. So 2/3 of 8,40,000 is so cost of rupees 5,60,000 of goods have been sold for rupees 6,10,000. Now we can calculate the amount of gross profit. Gross profit is equal to sales minus cost of goods sold. So here amount of sale is rupees 6,10,000 minus cost of goods sold is rupees 5,60,000. So here the amount of gross profit will be rupees 50,000. So this is how we will solve the question based on calculating the amount of cost of goods sold and gross profit. Now here is another question based on the same formula which we have discussed in the previous question. Question here is calculate cost of goods sold and closing stock from the following information. Sales amounting to rupees 5,40,000, sales returned rupees 16,000, then gross profit rupees 1,20,000, opening stock amounting to rupees 20,000, purchases rupees 4 lakh, purchases returned rupees 4,000 and carriage inwards amounting to rupees 15,000. So here we have to calculate the amount of cost of goods sold and closing stock. So as in the given information, we can first find out the cost of goods sold based on the formula gross profit minus sales. We know there are two formulas for calculating cost of goods sold. First is while calculating cost of goods sold, we add opening stock, purchases, direct expenses and subtract closing stock. Second is when gross profit is deducted from sales. So first we will find out the cost of goods sold based on the formula when gross profit is given and sales is given. So here formula for calculating cost of goods sold is net sales minus gross profit. So as in the question, the amount of sale is given which is 5,40,000, from which we will deduct sales return to calculate net sales. Net sales can be calculated by subtracting sales return from amount of sales. So by subtracting 16,000 from 5,40,000, we get the amount of net sales as 5,24,000 minus amount of gross profit is rupees 1,20,000. So by deducting 1,20,000 from 5,24,000, we get the amount rupees 4,04,000 as cost of goods sold. So here amount of cost of goods sold has been calculated amounting to rupees 4,04,000. Now second thing which we have to calculate is amount of closing stock. So to calculate the amount of closing stock, we'll put the second formula for calculating cost of goods sold. So as we know, cost of goods sold is also calculated as opening stock plus net purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock. So in this formula, we'll put the values which is given in the question. Cost of goods sold has been calculated. Amount of cost of goods sold is 4,04,000 is equal to amount of opening stock is rupees 20,000 plus net purchases will be calculated by deducting purchases returned from total amount of purchases. So here 4 lakh minus 4,000 will be 3,96,000. Then direct expenses. So direct expenses here is carriage inwards amounting to rupees 15,000 minus closing stock. As the amount of closing stock is not given, we have to calculate this amount. We'll write the closing stock as it is. So here by adding 20,000 and 15,000, we get the amount rupees 35,000. We'll add this amount in 3,96,000. The amount we get by adding is rupees 4,31,000. Closing stock will remain as it is. Amount of cost of goods sold is 4,04,000. Now we will shift the closing stock here on left hand side 4,31,000 will remain same in its place, and we will transfer cost of goods sold on right hand side minus 4,04,000. So by deducting 4,04,000 from 4,31,000, we get the amount rupees 27,000 as closing stock. So here amount of closing stock is rupees 27,000. So this is how we will solve the question based on the formula cost of goods sold and closing stock. Now here is the last question based on the formula for calculating gross profit and cost of goods sold. Question is, net sales during the year ended 31st March 2015 is rupees 6 lakh. Gross profit is rupees 25% on cost. We have to find out the amount of gross profit and cost of goods sold. So here gross profit is 25% on cost. Here the question arises, if the cost of goods sold is not given in the question, then on which amount we will calculate gross profit. So in such case, we will assume the amount of cost be rupees 100. Let's suppose the amount of cost of goods sold is rupees 100. Now gross profit is given 25% on cost. So here we will calculate gross profit on the cost rupees 100. So 25% of rupees 100 will be rupees 25. Now, if the cost of good is rupees 100 and we are getting a profit of rupees 25 on such cost, that means that good have been sold for the amount of rupees 125. If the cost of the product is rupees 100 and on that product we are gaining a profit of rupees 25, that means the goods have been sold for rupees 125. That is why we are getting a profit of 25 rupees. As we know, profit is calculated when selling price is greater than cost price. So here selling price is rupees 125 and cost price is rupees 100. So we get the profit of rupees 25 here. That means sale amount will be rupees 125. Now, if the sale amount is rupees 25, we are getting the profit on this sale amount for rupees 25. So on the sale of rupees 125, we are getting a profit of rupees 25. So on the sale of actual sale amount is rupees 6 lakh. On the sale of rupees 6 lakh, we will get the gross profit as 6 lakh multiplied by 25 divided by 125. We have applied a unitary method in this question. So here unitary method will be followed. If sale amount is 125, gross profit is rupees 25, we can calculate on one sale amount also. If on 125 sale amount, gross profit is 25. So on one sale amount, gross profit will be 25 divided by 125. So in the actual sale amount, which is rupees 6 lakh, the amount of gross profit will be 25 divided by 125 into 6 lakh rupees. So we get the amount of gross profit as rupees 1,20,000. So here on the sale amount of 6 lakh, we get the gross profit amounting to rupees 1,20,000. So here now we can calculate cost of goods sold. Formula is sales minus gross profit. Sale amount is rupees 6 lakh. Gross profit amounting to rupees 1,20,000. So here we can calculate the amount of cost of goods sold. by subtracting 1,20,000 from 6 lakh. We get the amount 4,80,000 as cost of goods sold. So this is how the question based on gross profit and cost of goods sold is solved. With this, we have completed the topic of trading account. We have learned how to solve the question by preparing trading account and also the question based on the formula for calculating cost of goods sold and gross profit. In the next session, we'll be discussing the new topic of preparing profit and loss account. That's all for today. Thank you.